Hello everyone and welcome back to 27 Fox Place. I have a little bit of everything to get done today, both inside and out, and my to-do list is growing faster than I can get things done. So today I'm checking off a few things that have been on my list for months. Most days I start off with laundry and I program the washing machine to run the night before so that when I get up I can transfer the laundry over to the dryer first thing, and it cuts my wait time in half so that I can get more done. I forgot to clean out the lint trap the last time I did laundry, and I try to clean out the trap between every load of laundry, but once in a while I get in a hurry and forget, and lint buildup blocks the airflow so it takes longer for the clothes to dry, which of course wastes both time and energy.
You make me nervous. I might be hooked on you. I love the things you said to me, it seems like.
I use mesh laundry bags to wash items that are too delicate to wash on the regular wash settings, and I usually don't have enough to run a full load of delicates. And I use the bags to protect the delicate items so that I don't have to wash them by hand. And I finally found a set of bags that I like on Amazon. The mesh is durable so that it doesn't tear in the wash, and the zippers lock in place so they don't unzip and empty their contents. I'll be sure to include a link in the description box, and I try to include most links in the description box, but be sure to leave a comment if you have questions about anything or if you need a link to something that isn't listed.
Another way to say this, but I think we were meant to be.
I like to start the day with a tidy house because it's easier to keep the house tidy if it starts out that way. And of course there are days when nothing goes according to plan, but I try not to leave a room empty-handed. So if I bring a drink or something that doesn't belong into the room, I try to remember to take it with me when I leave. And that way the house stays tidy and I don't have to waste a second trip later.
Rush, so let's just take our time. Dropping everything 'cause you're stuck on my mind. So just sit.
Most of the time I like to finish my morning routine before I do anything else, but there are times when I just need to get something done before I start coming up with excuses not to. So after I make the bed, I still have dishes that need to be put away, but it's been in the hundreds here and it'll be 90 degrees by 10 o'clock, and I have some things that I need to do outside before it gets too hot. If you're new here, my name is Randy and I make videos for cleaning and organizing motivation, and I post new videos every Friday, so if you enjoy this type of content, be sure to take a minute and hit that subscribe button. And if you're already subscribed, be sure and take a minute to make sure that you're still subscribed. And I've never had a problem losing my favorite subscriptions, but my husband was recently unsubscribed to half of the channels that he watches all the time, and it's probably a glitch with a recent update, so be sure to check that you're still subscribed to your favorite channels.
To be with me, talking to the night until the morning.
I've had these plants sitting here for months and they're not exactly thriving in these containers. They restrict their growth and they dry out quickly in the heat, so they're not getting enough water, and I need to get them planted so that they can thrive. And I won't have time to plant everything today. The Mondo grass will thrive in cooler temperatures, but I really need to plant the begonias while there's still time to enjoy them. I planted this area in the early spring and it's doing well for the most part. I had to transplant these clivia and they've been struggling. This area gets very little sun, but the heat and the water restrictions have burned some of the leaves, and one of them didn't make it, so I'm going to pull off all the dead leaves and fill in the space with begonias. And this is the only place that I have for annual flowers, and I love to garden, but I just don't have enough time to keep up with anything bigger than this. And just like the inside, I break the yard up into zones and I spend about an hour each week in a different zone.
I believe I live in your thoughts. I think about you all the time, morning, evening, and midnight. Such a wonderful delight.
This area was covered in baby tears when we first moved into the house, and baby tears is a really good ground cover for shade, but it will take over the entire space, and I've been pulling it out for 20 years now, and I just can't seem to get rid of it. So anytime I see a patch pop up, I use a screwdriver to loosen the dirt around the roots so that I can pull it out.
You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say that I love you. You in my arms, won't let go. The world around could pass us by, a thunderstorm, a lightning strike, as we hold each other tight. You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say that I love you. Ooh, ooh, you, ooh, ooh, you, ooh, ooh, you, You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say, you're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say that I love you. Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air, and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh, dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other. Beyond gravel, beyond all. Hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching for the ground. As willows align, we lose track of time, at a path that we climb.
We recently bought this expanding hose, and I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, but we decided to give it a try. And it's only about 15 feet long until the hose fills with water, and then it expands to 100 feet so it can easily reach the entire yard. Plus, it's lead-free, so it's safe for kids and pets to drink from.
A bigger scale, the world in hands as we go.
once I'm done with the hose, I don't have to spend a whole bunch of extra time rolling up 100 feet of hose. It just shrinks back to a manageable size as the water drains from the hose, and it's lightweight and doesn't take up much space, so all I have to do is gather it up and put it away. It's not a dramatic transformation, and it will take a few weeks for the plants to fill in, but the little things add up, and there's one less thing on my to-do list.
I was on a plane to California. I had all the time I'd ever need. Did you even know I was looking for you? I think that I was hiding in between. How long did you wait for me?
The clothes have had time to dry, and I'm happy to have an excuse to get out of the heat, even if it is just folding the laundry. And I also need to clean out the pantry, and it won't take long, but it is a bigger job than most, and I try to get the bigger tasks out of the way when I can, and save the smaller tasks for when I have less energy. But I also want to make sure that I get the clothes folded today, and I try not to put things off. I barely have enough time to keep up with everything that I need to do, and the more I put off, the more I have to do later. But sometimes it's necessary, and I prefer to put off the things that don't take a lot of time and energy to do, because I'm more likely to get them done when I'm tired at the end of the day. So even if I don't get to it right away, as long as I get the clothes folded, I can get them put away in the same day.
Did you really need I was standing in the hall 7 hours. Knew that I could make it if I ran. Then I saw you walking out the back door, hand in hand with another man. How long did you wait for me? Yeah. How long did you really need to figure it out? To figure it out? To figure it out? Did you figure it out? To figure me out?
I would be up waiting for you if you had to leave. I would wait a lifetime if you were at sea. I just wanna say that I feel that our love is real. Maybe we should hurry up and seal the deal. Oh, I just wanna love you right. Oh, love you till the end of time. I just wanna hold you for forever. Every day you're making me better. 'Cause a love like this is rare.
always try to empty the dishwasher first thing, but I had to take a little detour this morning, and I like to cook when I have the time and energy, but it's not my favorite thing to do at the end of the day. But I'm much more likely to cook a healthy meal if I have food prepped in the fridge and an empty dishwasher.
I just wanna hold you for forever. Every day you're making me better. 'Cause a love like this is rare. And I wanna take you there.
I try to load the dishes in the dishwasher so that the water doesn't have a place to collect, but some things will only fit one way, and I always like to unload the bottom rack first so that any water that does collect doesn't splash all over the dry dishes. And sometimes there's just a little water that I can shake off without much of a problem, but these containers had too much water and I needed to dry them off with a towel before I could put them away.
Something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh, dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes. Beyond all. Hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching for the grand. As willows align, we lose track of time. Head up high, now we climb.
It's been about a year since I cleaned and reorganized the pantry, and I noticed the shelves have a few spills that needed to be cleaned up, so I thought it would be a good time to clean out the pantry, and I'm just going to use a damp microfiber cloth just to wipe down the shelves and the cabinet doors.
A bigger scale, the world in hand.
I have larger baskets at the top of the pantry for backstock and other things that I don't use very often, and having bins helps to keep everything organized and easy to access. And because I can pull out the entire bin, things don't get lost in the back of the pantry, which helps to cut down on waste. But bins also make it easy to move things around the shelves, and they also help contain the leaky spills.
On our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. Dreamy, breezy, we go.
And I'm not cleaning all of the bins today, mostly because I didn't want to spend that much time, but they do stay pretty clean unless something leaks, and then I just take a minute to wipe down the bin before I restock it.
Beyond gravel, beyond all.
I pull into your driveway, it's a Saturday night. You look like $1,000,000 wearing that dress I like. You're smiling, but there's something missing in your eyes. Girl, I can tell that you have something on your mind, but I will make you forget.
Having labels on the bins helps to maintain the organization in the pantry, but not every bin needs a label. I labeled most of the bins that contain a specific category like condiments and snacks, but some of the contents change too frequently to have a permanent label.
There's a party in the backyard, dance your problems away. I'm all about the good vibes. I know you're all about the good vibes. Do you know how much I love you? Wanna see you smile. Where's that happy girl that I know with a heart on fire? I'll do anything to make it fine, but I can tell that you have something I will make you forget all your sorrows. Let go like there's no tomorrow. Let's have a drink, just relax, all your problems will fade. If you're ready for a good time, count on me. There's a party in the backyard, dance your problems away. I'm all about the good vibes, I know you're all about the good vibes. We are all about the good vibes. We are all about the good times. Dancing till it feels alright, all night. We're all about the good vibes, all about the good vibes. I will make you forget all your sorrows. Let go like there's no tomorrow. Let's have a drink, just relax, all your problems will fade. If you're ready for a good time, count on me. There's a party in the backyard, dance your problems away. I'm all about the...
These shelves were one of my first attempts at a DIY project, and at the time I didn't see the need for adjustable shelves, and they function well enough, but there's definitely a few things I would change if I could do it again.
There's a party in the backyard, dance your problems away. I'm all about the good vibes, I know you're all about the good vibes. We are all about the good vibes. We are all about the good times. Dancing till it feels alright, all night. We're all about the good vibes, all about the good vibes.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by, it doesn't make it easy. The other piece of my heart moves slow, somewhere in the great unknown. When I return from the afterglow, will you carry me like I am whole again? Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all, I had a feeling but the feeling is all gone. Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all, I had a feeling but the feeling is all gone. If I could take you back to my youth and show you what I wish I knew, my will is strong with a place to lean. In the moment I hung desperately, the other ring on my wrist is gold, pairing with the light it holds. When I return from my skin and bones, I'm remembering the words you told me.
That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it gives you a little motivation to work on your to-do list. And of course, if you like this video, remember to give it a thumbs up and be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications before you go. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today, and I hope to see you next time.
Take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone.